Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to, well, World of Tanks with me, although it's not with me. Today we have a pair of subscriber replays, and I was looking through the videos I had uploaded and reminded that I haven't actually uploaded a scumbag replay in a while. So both of these games are going to be in artillery, and they're both going to be in machines that I don't think I have ever shown before. Kicking off proceedings with Alpjäger in his M7 Priest. This is of course the tier 3 American artillery piece. We are here on Ruinberg, which, well, it's not the best artillery map in the world, let's be honest. It's a relatively small map, and a lot of it is dominated by this dirty great city. So as I say, not the best artillery map in the world. Not the worst, I mean this is not Himmelsdorf or something like that, but not the best. Now you can immediately see that Alpjäger here uses the What Assistant mod, which basically changes the viewpoint you get as artillery. Now I'm still happy showing this game. What Assistant is not a banned mod or anything like that for anyone who is pondering it. Having said that, I do not like the mod, I don't think it should exist, and I do think it should be banned, but all of that aside, Alpjäger is just picking out some targets here. He's already managed to nail one kill, picks out the T-26 on the enemy team, and there is kill number 2. Lining up for a third kill, possibly on the T-46, or maybe the medium 3, and if anyone wants to start commenting on what some of my issues with artillery might be, 3 shots, 3 kills from safely across the map. There we go, that neatly sums it up. Sums up part of it. Anyway, I'm not going to spend these videos complaining about artillery, just going to go for the different change of pace that it gives us. Can now pick up his 4th kill. Oh, he was switching to the medium 3, but that of course slightly moved his tank. What you can do is press the X button, and that will lock your hull, so it will mean that if you change target, your hull won't slew round and throw your aim completely off when it does so. That can sometimes be helpful. Having said that, the medium 3 was foolish enough to just sit there, or probably inexperienced enough to just sit there, and Alpjäger was able to pick up kill number 4 by landing a shot right into his face. Now, there's a threat. The Tetrarch is coming around. Now, he would have to run the gauntlet of a couple of friendly tanks here, but there is the potential that he might make it through to Alpjäger's position and give him some severe problems. As it is, it's the Sexton who appears to come into view first. Alp lines up a shot, but the aim apparently wasn't perfect, and even if it were, these guns on artillery pieces can be rather dubious. Now, why the Sexton? He finally turns to face Alpjäger and puts one shot in that does 0 damage and is just eaten by his tracks. Now, the Sexton does get a very, very puny gun, but here we have kind of, a really rather painful situation, but Alp is able to shotgun the guy in the face for kill number 5. One of those situations where each artillery piece is desperately trying to bring its gun to bear against the other one. More track damage. I am actually starting to wonder, I was about to say if that is a replay bug, but no, he did take some actual damage. It looks like maybe not. The Tetrarch is right behind him, which he hasn't noticed. He's fired the gun, and the Tetrarch kills him. Thankfully, at least his ally in the Universal Carrier 2-pounder is able to avenge him. Oh no, it wasn't actually the Tetrarch who killed him. It was the T-46 who got the finishing shot in. Ho, ho, ho. Well, what can you say? And thus, Alpjäger's little adventure is brought to an end in the M7 Priest. This is not a long game. There are 2 enemy tanks left on the enemy team, though. Let's just watch this to fruition. There's a Panzer 35T and a T-46, but the friendlies are capping the base, and voila, there we go. That's the end of the game, and it goes to the Allies, but with 2 tanks left standing on either team. So let's go and have a look at those post-battle results. So there we go, that ended up being sufficient for Alpjäger's ace tanker in the M7 Priest. He managed to rack up 840 damage, get 5 kills, 656 base experience, which may not sound like a huge amount, but it's only tier 3 and artillery tends to have relatively low XP thresholds for the ace tanker because they struggle to get XP in the first place anyway. 7 shots fired, 5 hits, 5 pens, 5 kills, can you see a trend there? 6 hits received, 4 penetrated, 2 did not, for which he was rather lucky. And a few credits and a bit of XP into the bargain. If I were to critique any bit of that replay, I would say that Alpjäger looked like he got a little bit, had a bit of tunnel vision at one point when he had the Tetrarch sitting behind him, putting shot after shot into his rear. You probably want to react to that a bit quicker, would be my main critique. But nonetheless, nice to see an ace tanker in the M7 Priest. So, let's move on to another low-tier artillery piece. Here we go with our second offering then. This is from Wolfsea, and he is driving the Pzsfl 4B. Now, there's a lot of Pzsfl German tanks in the game, most of which are tank destroyers. This particular example is an artillery piece. This is a tier 4 German artillery piece. Now, it kind of gets a turret, but it's not a fully rotating turret, so you only get fire in that front sector. But it's quite a wide sector that it gets to fire in. Now, this is a tier 4 game, so Wolf here is top tier, which means that if these shells, I think they're 105mm shells, yep, if these shells hit, they're going to do a lot of damage. This is basically the derp gun you get mounted on the Panzer IV H at tier 5, but on a tier 4 artillery piece. Now, whether that says more about how powerful the gun is on the tier 5 medium tank or the tier 4 artillery, I'm not quite sure. It's a little bit like if you imagine, let's say, the tier sort of 7, so tier 8/9 medium tanks, or even down to tier 7. Imagine if they came with a 155mm gun. It's that sort of thing, which seems a little bit over the top to me, but what do I know? Anyway, first shot fired, didn't manage to kill the target, that Czechoslovakian tank, the STVZ-39, but still, it managed to trap the guy in place and got him killed. That shot, however, was dead on target, and that's one very dead Marder 2, who just gets absolutely deleted. Good lord. Anyway, now if you're playing artillery, generally speaking, I would advise, repositioning between shots. It's slightly different with the lower tier artillery because they reload relatively quickly. Sometimes repositioning between shots can be counterproductive, especially in the current meta where frankly very few artillery players bother taking part in counter battery fire because it's just not worth their while. Anyway, Wolf there goes for a blind shot and is rewarded with a kill on that poor defenseless Valentine. Poor guy. So that's one shot taken as a predictive leading shot. And now make that 2 shots taken completely blind. Well, I say completely, he knew they were roughly there, and they had clearly not repositioned, and both of them rewarded him with a kill. So here's some advice if you're facing artillery. Don't sit in the same spot for ages, you're just going to get yourself wrecked. Scoreline, however, is even at 6 kills apiece. Half of them are, of course, Wolf's, and you can see in chat here he was quite happy about his blind kill, as well he might be. Now, Wolf does actually get spotted and starts taking fire from a Stuart, who takes out his driver and his engine, but Wolf stands his ground, manages to fire without aiming, one-shots the guy, and of course, Dafuck15, hey, that's his name, don't blame me, doesn't take it very well, and has his jimmies very definitely rustled by that. Panzer IV now over here, Panzer IV-D of course. Wolf goes for a shot on him, but doesn't manage to pick up the kill. However, there is an incoming Tuldi. Tuldi 3, it's a German Tier 3 premium light tank. Now, Wolf is in a little bother here. His driver is out, his engine is out. He does have a repair kit and a med pack to put those back in, but he appears to not be taking advantage of it. I mean, the Pzsfl 4B is not a very fast machine at the best of times. and this is not the best of times, but he's backing off here. If that Toldy comes over the railway tracks, hopefully Wolf can just blat him in the face. Although I guess only time will tell. And apparently the guy's not coming over. And to be fair, the Allied team is descending rather rapidly on the enemy base, so I can't really blame them too much. Someone, however, is in the friendly base. I wonder if it's that Toldy. Possibly the Panzer IV. Oh, there's the Toldy. So it may well have been him. Toldy bounces a shot. Bouncing on artillery. Anyway, he gets absolutely derped in the face for his trouble and dies. And that just leaves a pair of BT-7s and a Panzer IV-D. And to be fair to that M5 Stuart from earlier on, who wasn't particularly impressed about getting derped in the face, he does say good job to Artie, so hello, surprise BT-7. Manages to come in to try and ram Wolf to death, but doesn't quite manage to do it before the game ends. Which I found vaguely amusing, if nothing else. Anyway, there we go. A really odd little game there. Another short game. Very strange game. Bouncing shots in an artillery piece, not aiming and killing people anyway, and then taking blind shots and still getting the kills. But either way, let's go and take a look at how well Wolf did. So there we go. Wolf managed to pick up high caliber medal, a Stark's medal, which is an unusual one to get. I think I've got one or two. That's what, for those who don't know, while driving an SPG, destroy at least 2 enemy vehicles and receive at least 2 enemy hits that cause damage or are blocked by your armor. Yeah, so that's an unusual one to see, but it is nice to see every once in a while. I also, although this is Quickie Baby's replay website rather than what replays, so it doesn't show things like you know, second class, first class, masteries and all that jazz, but I would imagine that were an ace tanker. I could of course be wrong, but I would expect that to be an ace. Looking at the team lists, 1,534 damage done, 5 kills, 875 base experience. Most of this damage was done blind, or a lot of it was done blind, which amused me endlessly. 9 shots fired, 5 hits, 5 pens, 2 splashes. Most of that damage was done from long range, as you would expect with artillery. Hits received 4, and 2 of them bounced, which is the amusing bit. Or at least didn't penetrate. So it actually doesn't say he blocked any damage with his armor. Maybe it went into track or something like that. With a premium account, that was a 28,000 credit profit. Without, it would have still been an 18,000 credit profit. And there we go. That's the result. Nice amount of XP into the bargain as well. So I thought we'd mix things up a little bit. I hope you enjoyed that pair of low-tier artillery games, or at least didn't completely hate it. I know not everyone is a fan of artillery, but I try and show a bit of everything anyway. If you are interested in sending me your own replays, then please feel free to upload them to whatreplays.com, or indeed Quickie Baby's replay site, whichever. Send me the URL to the replay as PM on YouTube, and I shall take a look. I make no promises that I'll show it, and usually there's a few months past before I do show these things, because I tend to run a little bit behind. But it doesn't have to be an astounding ace tanker game for me to show. I tend to give preference to people that I've never shown before, and to tanks that I've never shown before, and I've never showcased either. As far as I'm aware, the M7 Priest or the Tier 4 Pzsfl artillery piece that you just saw in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, by all means feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.